Hi, in this session I'll cover bulk collect and FORALL, a PLSQL performance booster. In this session I'll cover two great features in PLSQL optimization, bulk collect and FORALL. Using bulk collect, you can retrieve many rows with a single fetch, which improves the speed of data retrieval by very less number of context switches. And using FORALL, you can use it with the DML statements with a collection, and you can make the particular DML operation very much faster using the FORALL statement. Okay, I will discuss about these two things in the next slides. Okay, let's start with context switching. So what is context switching? In PLSQL subprogram, it will have procedural statements specific to PLSQL as well as the SQL statements. And Oracle uses two different engines to process the PLSQL code. All the procedural code is handled by the PLSQL engine, while all the SQL code is handled by the SQL engine. So what happens? This is how it looks like if you imagine. While executing a PLSQL block, when a PLSQL engine finds a SQL statement, it stops and passes the control to the SQL engine, and SQL engine executes the particular SQL statement and returns the data back to the PLSQL engine. This transfer of control is called context switching. Okay, the context switching process is very much fast, but if performed over and over again, suppose cases like fetching from a cursor using cursor for loop. Okay, this is an example. The context switching can take a large amount of time and it can cause performance issue, cause cases like you are fetching millions of data using cursor for loop, it will cause lots of context switching. Okay, so in case of bulk collect, the PLSQL engine tells the SQL engine to collect as many as rows at once and place them in a collection, and SQL engine retrieves all the rows and loads them into a collection and switches back them to the SQL engine. And using bulk collect, multiple rows can be fetched into one or more collection in a single context switching. So this will cause very much better performance than traditional cursor fetching using cursor for loop or like that. Okay, so this is the basic syntax of bulk collect. Select the select statement, bulk collect into the one or more collection, or you can use the open for statement, open cursor name, then loop, then fetch that particular cursor into a collection. Okay, it can be used with associative arrays, nested tables, arrays, this kind of collections. You can fetch into a individual collection, like one for each expression in the select list, or a single collection of records. Okay, so let's before proceeding, let's see a demo. Let's this is a table hr.empdpt. It will have around almost 2 lakh data. It will have 2 lakh data, and in this PLSQL code I will compare like the time taken in fetching from cursor using cursor for loop and fetching by bulk collect. Okay, in this first part I am I am taking that time using dbms utility dot get time, and I am fetching using cursor for loop, and then I am just taking the time taken by minusing the current time minus v start time, that is the time when the process have started. Okay, and I am doing the same thing using bulk collect. So let's check which one is faster. I'll execute it. Okay, so I have executed that particular code. This is cursor for loop, time to fetch 62, and bulk collect, time to fetch 16. So you can understand, like, it is almost 1/4 time taken by the cursor for loop. Okay, so let's go to our next slide. so it's very much faster. You can see in many cases it's taking if the data set is very large, it's taking in cases like 1/10 of time also. Okay, so what is limit clause? You can use this limit clause with the bulk collect. Okay, one thing, while working with bulk collect, there are some dangers also, cause memory for collections is allocated in the PGA. So fetching a very large data set at a single time using bulk collect can cause large memory consumption and significant performance issue. Cause if there is a table with uh, 10 million record and you just use select star from table name bulk collect into particular collection, then it will consume huge memory in your RAM. Okay, so you can use the limit clause to limit number of rows to fetch at a single time. You can use this simple syntax: fetch cursor name bulk collect into collection name limit. Okay, we'll do some demos. And another thing, since Oracle 10G, the Oracle PLSQL engine implicitly does bulk collect of 100 rows at a time while fetching from your cursor in your PLSQL block. It will functionally it will be same as if you use bulk collect with limit of 100. Okay, so uh, I'll show you the syntax. I have declared a cursor loop fetch emp cursor bulk collect into this limit this, then this is the syntax. Okay, before going to next slide, I'll show you some demos. And let's see, I'll turn on my SQL tracing. I'll set trace file identifier first. First I'll show you some details from tkprof report for a cursor for loop. Okay, then I'll set my time statistics equal to true. Then I'll enable my SQL tracing using session trace enable. Fine. Now I'll execute that particular query, that particular PLSQL block. Okay, sorry. Okay, successfully completed. Now I'll disable the tracing. Okay, fine. Let's this is the particular trace file. Okay, I'll now generate a tkprof report. Okay, it's generated car1.prf. Now you can see this is the particular skills. This is the uh, just hold on. Yeah, this is the particular SQL statement. This was the PLSQL block I have executed, if you can see. And in that particular block, this is my SQL statement: select star from HR .emp You can see what I wanted to show you. Number of fetch is showing 2001. Okay, the fetch count, and this is the number of rows, so it is like 100 rows per fetch, kind of. Okay, now just keep that in mind, car1.prf. Now again I'll execute a second one. I'll give again a trace file identifier. I'll set my time statistics as true, and okay, now I'll execute my second PLSQL block. In second block, this is same, and it is doing just bulk collect. Simple select star bulk collect into bulk collect type from hr.empdpt. And in third one, I will be using the cursor for loop. Let's I'll just disable the tracing. Okay, so this is my trace file. Okay, bulk.prf I have given the name. Let's open it. Yeah, okay, this was my PLSQL block, and this was the particular SQL query I have executed. Here you can see number of fetch is showing 1 and number of rows 20,000. In case of cursor for loop, if you remember, it was 2001 and number of rows 2 lakh. Okay, let's check for the third one. Before that, I'll set a trace file identifier, and okay, now I'll execute my code. In this code, this is same, just using a limit of 20,000. Okay, now successfully completed. I have disabled the tracing. Now we can see this was that particular trace file. Bulk collect limit. Okay, I have given the name as bulk limit.prf. Okay, here is my TKF of report. Okay, this was the particular PLSQL code. Okay, now let's check the SQL. Yeah, here you can see the fetch, it is showing as 11 fetch count. Okay, so I have used the limit of 20,000, so you can understand. If you remember the code, I have used limit of 20,000. Okay, so this is how you can use the limit clause. Okay, so DML with for all. The for all statement issues a series of static or dynamic DML statements, usually much faster than the traditional DML in your PLSQL code. It is a declarative statement to the PLSQL engine, and in case of for all, the PLSQL engine sends the DML statements to the SQL engine in batches rather than one at a time, causing the less context switching and better performance. The for all DMLs are very much faster. Okay, and in some facts about for all is each for all statement may contain just a single DML statement, a single insert, update or delete. In at least one place in the DML, you need to reference a collection and use the for all iterator as the index value in that collection, like for all I in collection 1 dot first to collection 1 dot last loop, like that. You cannot loop through the elements of an associative array that has a string type of key. Okay, if your collection is not densely populated, you should use the indexes of or values of syntax in your for all header. When you specify an explicit range while iterating, all the collection elements in that range must exist. If an element is missing or deleted, you get an error. Okay, so let's check performance of for all. Okay, here I have a simple example. I have declared a collection, and in this collection I am populating 1 to 10,000 values, and it will have two columns, ID and text. In text I am just randomly giving as a value test, and in the ID I am giving a value of I, which will be the 1 to 10,000 in a loop. And what I am doing, there is a table t underscore for all. In this table there are two columns, ID and text. In that table I am populating. First I am just using simple for loop to populate the table, and I am similar like before, I am using v start time. I am putting this is the variable I have declared. I am putting dbms utility dot get time before the insert starts, and I have declared a variable v end time, and I am putting dbms utility dot get time when the insert is done. Okay, and I am just giving a output what is the time taken, and I am doing the same for the for all insert. This is the syntax for all statement. For all I in your particular collection dot first dot your particular collection dot last, or you can also like you can do like for all I in to a particular value to your index dot count, sorry, your collection dot count. Okay, like for all t for all I in t for all type, for all I in 1 to t for all type dot count. Then you will do like this: insert into your table name. In case of insert, values this. Okay, this is the syntax of for all statement. So let's check the time taken in each different methods. Okay, okay, so you can understand from here, like previously I have just executed it once. Time taken for normal insert is 80. Time taken for the bulk insert with for all 2. Okay, so you can see the very huge difference between these two methods. Okay, the bulk insert with for all is very much faster. Okay, so let's go to our next slide. Some cursor attribute SQL percentile bulk row count. This percentile bulk row count cursor attribute is used for all statement. This attribute works like an associative array. SQL percentile bulk row count. Suppose SQL percentile bulk row count I stores the number of rows processed by the ith execution of an DML statement. The for all statement and the percentile bulk row count attribute have the same subscripts. For example, if for all uses the range of 1 to 100, then the percentile bulk row count will have the same subscript. Okay, the same subscript as the collection used in your for all statement. Okay, and save exceptions. This is now we will discuss about how to track exceptions using for all while you are using bulk DML processing. There is a cursor attribute percentile bulk exceptions. Exceptions raised in for all DML can be tracked using this particular attribute. To have a bulk bind complete with handling the errors, use the save exceptions keyword to for all statement after the bounds before the DML statement. Then use an exception handler to track the exceptions that occur during the for all DML. Okay, so all exceptions raised during the executions are saved in the cursor attribute bulk exceptions, which stores a collection of records. Each record has two fields. Bulk exception dot error index. Here I is the iterator that holds the iteration of the for all statement during which the exception was raised, and bulk exceptions dot error code. Here I is the iterator holds the corresponding Oracle database error code. Okay, and there is another one, bulk exceptions count. It the number of exception is saved in this particular cursor attribute, and it refers to the most recently executed for all statement. Okay, let's check how to do exception handling in using for all. Okay, using save exceptions. I have a small example PLSQL code. I have declared a table of number, a particular collection. I am just populating 100 to 105 in this particular collection. Then I will do for all j in 1 to tnum type dot count. Save exceptions keyword I am using here. I am updating hr.employees set email equal to test where employee id equal to this. Now email is a field with unique key enabled. It have a constraint of unique key, so it will not let you update the test value in all these 5 records. So because of this, it will raise the error, and we are tracking it here. This is a small example. Let's see this bulk exceptions dot error index. It will hold the iteration number, and the error code, it will be the Oracle error code, from which you can understand what is the error happened in your bulk processing. Okay, so here you can see the exception is handled here and error is tracked. You can use any methods for error tracking, like logging into a error table. Here just for showing I am using this dbms output.put.line just to show you the error code. This is the number of iteration number 2, error code 1, and error code 1 means unique constraint violation, or a 00001. Okay, so this is how exceptions can be handled while using the bulk operations. Okay, so in this lesson we have covered fundamentals of bulk collect and for all. Thanks for joining this session. Thank you.